welcome everyone. I woke up this morning and saw a question on social media today. Someone was asking if anybody thought that COVID was the beginnings of biowarfare. I don't know how my brain got off on a tangent and it sparked something in my memory. I was thinking about an article that I read a few years back about China's economy. So I did a bit of digging. As many of you know, China back in the day had a one-child policy, and this was for many years, from 1979 to 2015. This was a disaster for the female-to-male ratio in China. This resulted in about 34 million more men than women. In the Chinese culture at the time, a son was far more desirable than a daughter. That ended up in about a 2.5% ratio, 2.5% more men than women. And this may seem small, but it's massive compared to other countries. Oh, where are the feminists in China? Maybe we should start a GoFundMe page so we can export some of ours as a gesture of goodwill to China. Thanks for the Rona, China. We'll send some Karens in return. I might be onto something there. Anyway, I digress. Back to my point. As a result, in part due to this policy, China's aging population will soon become an economic disaster for them. In a study by a Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, in January of 2019, China will enter what they called an unstoppable decline, where their aged population will soon get to be such an economic burden, and their elderly population will just continue increasing as a ratio to their younger population. Now, China has since changed their policies in 2016 to allow for 2 children, and then in 2018 they scrapped this whole family planning policy altogether after birth rates did not significantly increase. China had hit the middle class trap. Many family units had prioritized careers over building families, and their birth rates failed to even hit the 2.1 children per household threshold, okay, just to maintain their population. As a result of these failed legacy policies, China's population will get old very soon. This is going to create a huge economic burden on China. So at the risk of sounding like a conspiracy nut, I'm going to ask you one question. Does it seem like a communist regime that only about 60 years ago slaughtered over 100 million of its own people would have an issue with wiping out the elderly and infirm to save its economy? Interesting question. Releasing COVID into an aging population when you know they are at the highest risk of dying, and you know that your children and your young population will be safe. Does that seem like a stretch? Think of the net gain China would have economically if a large portion of its elderly and infirm population died off. Now, I'm not saying that this was engineered, but it's not that much of a stretch from a government that wants to control everything in their society. And it comes conveniently at a time just before their own studies said they were about to reach an unstoppable decline that would impact their economy incredibly. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you can keep up to date on all my latest stuff. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you like what you saw, please comment as well. I'm using the comments to create content. This show is a project in the making, and I'm relying on your feedback and the analytics that I get in YouTube to make the changes and evolve the program as it goes. Thank you for your support, everyone, and I'll see you next time.